Welcome back to the deep dive. Our mission is always, take the sources you give us, pull out all the key nuggets, and give you a really clear picture of what's going on.
And today we're analyzing a company that, well, it claims it's gone way beyond just apparel.
Yeah, we are deep diving into the source material for BKLEO clothing. They present themselves not just as a fashion brand, but as a global lifestyle movement. It's
Yep.
all about personal transformation and, as they put it, the soul.
It really makes you ask a pretty big question about how we shop today. I mean, can a piece of clothing actually change how you see yourself or how you act?
Right.
The sources position this brand as, the answer for people looking for something with more weight, more gravitas. Our goal today is to give you a clear look at what it really means to, well, weigh your mindset.
Okay, let's unpack this. The source material is very clear on this. It introduces BKLEO as more than a fashion brand. It's a global lifestyle movement.
That's the headline.
Exactly. And the tagline is where fashion meets soul. In an industry that is just so saturated with disposable trends, trying to merge this kind of psychological purpose with a physical product is uh, a pretty powerful move.
And definitely a strategic move. The context in the sources is that consumers are, and I'm quoting here, tired of fast fashion with no meaning.
They're looking for something more permanent,
Yeah.
an identity.
Yes. And this brand just steps right into that void. It suggests that its products aren't just things you buy, they're tools. Tools that reflect your values, your vision, and maybe most importantly, your own inner voice.
So let's get into that foundation, the core philosophy. The first section of the sources really details this idea that every single piece is crafted with intention,
Mm-hmm.
specifically to support the person you're becoming. And that's a pretty big shift in thinking. It reframes a shirt or a hoodie from just being a thing you own.
To being a commitment, something that looks forward.
Precisely. The power seems to be in making that internal goal external. I mean, most people keep their affirmations inside their own heads, right?
And they can fade when you're having a bad day.
Exactly. But by putting that message physically on your clothes, it becomes this constant, tangible reminder, not just for everyone else, but for you every time you see your reflection.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And the declarations themselves are very specific. They're designed to line up with different phases of personal growth. So we see messages about active transformation like, I'm evolving,
Or I'm healing.
right, or I'm building something bigger than myself. It's an active kind of self-expression, not a passive one.
And that active language is just so key to keeping you emotionally invested. It helps you define where you are in your life right now. It's not just a statement of who you are, but who you're becoming.
They're creating a vocabulary for the journey.
They are, and they're encouraging their community to think about their own personal growth in these really specific, goal-oriented terms.
And the brand is not shy. It definitely leans into boldness. I mean, for memorability, the sources point to these incredibly punchy phrases on the clothes. You have to think about the psychological effect of deciding to wear something that says, fearless to the bone, nothing breaks me.
That is a powerful statement of resilience.
It is. Or what about the kind of social contract you're making when you wear a shirt that says built different?
It's a confidence booster for sure, but it also creates this expectation you have to live up to. If you wear that, you're setting a standard for yourself.
The one I found most interesting, maybe the most complex, was restricted access, authorized only. That's not just about strength.
No, it's about boundaries.
Exactly, it's an active boundary setter.
Yeah.
The clothing becomes a social filter. And even something as simple as why not acts as this little daily push to take a risk or challenge your own limits.
But this is where we should probably ask a critical question. With phrases this powerful, how does the brand stop them from just becoming, cliche or losing their impact over time?
That's a great point, and the sources suggest they avoid that by structuring them into entire frameworks. They have whole collections built around these themes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like Fearless Frequency, Game Changer, and Awakened. It suggests this isn't just about one slogan, but a whole philosophy you can kind of move through.
Right. So it's a multi-stage roadmap for your development, and the clothes are basically the uniform for whatever stage you're in. That's the core of the wear your mindset idea. The clothing is a daily reminder of your inner fire. It becomes a really effective affirmation tool because it's real, it's tangible, and it's always there.
Okay, so that brings us pretty smoothly into the second section of our deep dive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how does a brand deliver on this huge philosophical promise,
Yeah.
but still work as a successful company?
Right. The function has to meet the philosophy.
And the sources say they solve the problems of fast fashion by focusing on three core pillars.
Because if the product itself is cheap or falls apart, The big message just loses all its integrity. The physical item has to live up to the spiritual promise.
Pillar 1 is comfort meets purpose. So this is the practical stuff. The sources talk a lot about soft, breathable fabrics, designs made for movement and style.
Pieces that feel as good as they look.
Yes, and this is aimed right at the modern, active lifestyle of their audience.
Which is so crucial because the brand is for people who are, on the grind. If you're building a legacy, you're constantly pushing yourself, your clothes have to support that. If a hoodie is restrictive or, disintegrates after a few washes,
It betrays the whole promise.
it completely betrays it. The comfort means the piece actually gets integrated into your daily life, which makes the affirmation even more powerful.
Which leads right into pillar 2. This one tackles a huge issue for consumers, cost versus quality. They call it premium value without the premium overprice.
Mm-hmm.
They claim the quality matches top-tier brands, but the prices respect your grind.
That's a very shrewd move strategically. By focusing on value instead of luxury markups, they're reinforcing the idea that this brand is for the doer, not the person who just wants to show off.
Right. It's for the person investing in their future.
Exactly. And who demands quality that lasts? It sends the message that your money is going into the material in the message, not into flashy marketing, which really aligns with our customer base.
Okay, so we've got premium quality, designed for movement, fair price. Pillar 3 then just loops right back to the core promise. Where your mind's set.
It's not just a mission statement.
No, they define it as a product feature. Every single item, a shirt, a hoodie, a crop top, is explicitly marketed as a mindset tool.
And if you connect that whole product strategy to the bigger picture, you see they're targeting people who wake up with a mission, rise through setbacks, and lead with legacy. This combination of pillars ensures the physical product, the comfort, the value acts as a real, functional uniform for that mindset. The quality validates the commitment.
Now that we've got the philosophy and the product down, let's talk about the scale of this whole thing. The brand calls it the BKLEO family.
Right, because if the product is a uniform, you have to look at the army of people wearing it.
And the scale is pretty impressive. It kind of gives weight to that global movement claim. The sources talk about over 12,000 people.
Across different countries, different cultures.
And the single thing they say unites this huge group is a commitment to growth.
And the diversity within that group is pretty striking. The sources list everyone from creatives chasing a passion to entrepreneurs building a legacy.
Yeah, survivors rewriting their stories, parents raising the next generation. It's business owners, students, hustlers. It suggests the mindset they're building is universal. It cuts across all those demographic lines.
That universality is so important. It means the brand isn't selling an identity based on your job or your income.
It's based on effort.
On effort and aspiration, exactly. They're building this purpose-driven tribe where the shared value is self-improvement, which makes the community itself a really powerful reinforcement for the message on the clothes.
And we can hear that impact directly from the feedback in the source material. These quotes are, they're not just praise. They show a real psychological reliance on the product. Marcus J. says, the clothing reminds me every day that I'm not who I used to be.
Wow. That's profound. That suggests the apparel is like a marker, a point on a timeline. It shows you how far you've come, and that makes it harder to slip back into old habits.
Then you have Ashley R., who says, every hoodie feels like a personal declaration of who I'm becoming. And Daniel K. just sums it all up. It's part of my transformation. The language is so consistent across these testimonials. The brand's message is landing exactly how they want it to.
And this commitment narrative is backed up visually by the examples they share, the people they call impact makers.
Okay, but let me just push back a little here. Isn't impact maker just a clever rebranding of influencer? We see that all the time.
That's a fair question.
What in the source material really supports that there's a difference?
I think the distinction they're making is about a focus on action and legacy over just, follower counts. They highlight very specific people using the apparel as part of their actual work.
Like who?
Well, there's the Vision Coach. He's a mindset mentor, and he wears the Built Different shirt, not for a photo shoot, but when he's on stage actually coaching clients. The clothing is part of the work.
I see. And then there's at Cherise's Daily, a single mom and a creative. She wears Building My Best Self while she's actually creating her content. The message is right there in the context of the daily labor.
Right. And the example of at Global Grinds, the entrepreneur, he's wearing genius mind gangster grind in business meetings. That explicitly positions the apparel as appropriate for high stakes professional settings. It validates the idea that your mindset matters most when the pressure is on.
So by showing these action-focused examples, the brand creates a community centered on shared achievement.
Exactly. They reinforce that their members are actual impact makers whose lives reflect the messages on their clothes.
That makes a lot of sense. It validates the whole proposition. It's not about just passively consuming something. It's a visible sign of an intentional life.
And for you, the listener, this is really a masterclass in how to build a brand identity around function and commitment, not just a logo.
So after all this analysis, what does it all mean for you? We see that BKLEO is really positioned as this platform for self-expression inside a very organized, purpose-driven tribe.
It's selling community and psychological reinforcement, all packaged up with high-quality apparel. It's an invitation to align your outside with your inside, with your ambition, your struggle, the legacy you want to build.
And the brand is very direct with its invitation to join, especially if you're ready to say yes to your growth and express your truth through what you wear.
The source material lays out clear pathways to get involved. They want to turn curiosity into commitment. You're invited to find a piece that speaks to your current season.
They give examples too, like the Man on a Mission tee.
Or the From Dust I Rise message.
Yeah.
Really evocative stuff.
And it goes beyond just the product. They have the usual channels for getting more involved. Join the newsletter for early drops, become a brand ambassador.
Or connect with the community on social media. They mention at Beakleo Clothing on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's a whole ecosystem designed to keep that commitment loop going.
The material always comes back to that central idea. The closing is a mirror to your mission.
Which leaves us with a final provocative thought for you to take with you. If you were to really examine your deepest ambition right now, and you looked in that mission-driven mirror today, what single powerful message would you need to wear as a constant, non-negotiable reminder to fuel your own transformation?
Something to think about as you decide on the uniform for your next chapter. Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll see you on the next one.